Hello there everyone. Okay, so Jedi Master Kenobi has been in the game now for a couple of weeks, and what we're going to do is we're going to look through the requirements we need to unlock the Jedi Master, and what we're also going to do is just see if there are any characters who we can farm along the way who are not part of the requirements, but can actually benefit us in the long run. So this is for players like myself who are mid-game, who've maybe got 2, 3, 4 million GP and are looking to make sure they maximise their roster whilst they unlock him. So hopefully it'll be of use to you. Let me know in the comments by the end. In the meantime, let's go. Okay then, so let's have a look at the requirements. First of all, Relic 8s. We've got General Kenobi and Grandmaster Yoda. Then we've got Relic 7 requirements of General Grievous, Wat Tambor, Jango Fett and Shaak Ti. At Relic 5 we've got Clone Sergeant, Bo-Katan Kryze, Cad Bane and Magna Guard. And then finally at Relic 3 we need to get Commander Cody, Aayla Secura, Qui-Gon Jinn and Mace Windu to that level. Finally, there is one more requirement, but that I will not touch on during the rest of the video, but it is a 6-star negotiator. Pretty simple that, just get your get to, unlock the ship, and then get it up to 6-star. It sounds simple saying it, but I recognise there's a grind to it, so unfortunately it's something we got to do, but honestly it's probably worth building up your negotiator fleet anyway, so if you want to talk more about negotiators, let me know in the comments, but for now we're going to focus on the characters. So, where can we go with these characters? Well, first of all, we're going to talk about General Kenobi, one of the best tanks in the game anyway. If you are going to be getting Jedi Master Kenobi, General Kenobi works great with him, so that's a plus. However, before then, he works with Galactic Republic and he works with Jedi, so we've got 2 homes for him already. Next up, Grandmaster Yoda. Grandmaster Yoda is pretty much the same, works with Galactic Republic and he works with Jedi, so once again we've got 2 good homes for these characters. Next, we're going to be looking at General Grievous. General Grievous, he can work mainly with Separatist droids, he can work under Nute Gunray lead as well, but ideally we may as well build up a Separatist droid team if we're going to try and maximise Grievous. So that is my thought process for my Crimson account. Let me know in the comments though, do you believe it's worth building up a General Grievous team along the way to getting Jedi Master Kenobi? Okay, and the final one that I'm going to talk about on this sheet, Wat Tambor. Wat Tambor can be used anywhere, honestly. You could probably put him with Cup, Coruscant Underground Police, and he will still do something. I'm not exactly sure what, but he'll probably do something. So, yeah, Wat Tambor's just great. I'm going to say no downside to getting Wat Tambor. Okay, so let's talk about Jango Fett. Jango Fett can be used in a Bounty Hunter team, a Scoundrel team, or a Mandalorian team, and also a Separatist team. So you've got 4 different factions you can put him into. Bounty Hunters is arguably the best, but to be honest, Jango's got such versatility due to the fact that his contract is triggered under a Separatist lead that you can easily put him there and he doesn't look out of place. Unfortunately, the same can't be said of a Mandalorian team. Now, ideally, something will come out that could trigger a contract early like the Separatists, but for now we're going to have to settle for the idea that maybe Jango is a Mandalorian, but really isn't the best option in the Mandalorian team. Okay, we're moving on to Shaak Ti. Shaak Ti at Relic 7 is a bit of a steep requirement, but she is a great clone leader and she is a great Jedi support, so there is no doubt that she is a worthwhile Relic 7. She's also a requirement for General Skywalker. I bring this up because it's something that Crimson needs for... Crimson just needs General Skywalker, so I'm looking at that and thinking, alright, that's another requirement for me. Then, Clone Sergeant. Clone Sergeant, he can go in a Shaak Ti team, he can also work under Padme, so little bits of use, but nothing spectacular. Then, finally, Bo-Katan Kryze. She's one of 2 Mandalorian leaders right now. That's about as best as it gets for her with that. What I would say, she's got a good AoE, so she can fit into a Scoundrel team quite nicely. She can put out days. So there's a few good things about Bo, but I think she's going to get overlooked a little bit with the requirements. I personally don't mind gearing and relicing her, but I know some people might. So I would advise you all to look at her kit. Just forget she's a Mandalorian, just look at her kit. There's a few nice little things in there that people might just overlook a little bit. Okay, so we're moving on. We've got Cad Bane at Relic 5. So Cad's got a nice stun. His basic can double tap. that's really all I've got to say about Cad. He's not a bad bounty hunter, but he's certainly not my first choice team. Cad's ship, Xanadu Blood, however, is one of the best reinforcing ships in the game, in my opinion. You can put Retribution onto Hound's Tooth, so there's always time for that in my eyes. So yeah, farm him up for the ship as much as anything. Then we're looking at Magna Guard. Magna Guard goes with GG, pretty simple pairing. Plus we need Magna Guard for General Skywalker, once again, another requirement. So we're doing quite good in that regard. Okay, next one, we're talking about Commander Cody. Commander Cody can be used in a Padme team and a Shakti lead team. Not a lot else to say, unfortunately. Cody has also worked with the Bad Batch. That's another thing. So if you aren't really vibing with Omega right now, Cody could possibly do something that Omega can't. But I'm recording this just after Omega's release. Yeah, she didn't really get a good release. But you never know, maybe with time people will appreciate it more. So let me know how that's aged in the comments, because I get the feeling it might age badly. Okay. Let's go to the next one. We're talking about Ayla Secura now. Now, Ayla Secura I actually want to farm up. I think at Relic 3 she could be okay. I think at higher level Relics she could actually be much better. A basic does have a chance to call Jedi to assist, so she can work well with Jedi Knight Revan. But she's Galactic Republic as well, so she can work in a Padme team as well. So she's one I'm actually looking forward to at least taking to Relic 3, just to see what team she fits in best. And depending on how she works, I'll be quite tempted to take her a little bit further eventually. So we'll see how that goes. Okay, Qui-Gon Jinn. Unfortunately, Qui-Gon doesn't seem to have much use. At Relic 3, I think they've been kind to us. The best thing you can say, give him a Zeta, he's another Jedi leader. He can also work under Padme, but he won't do as much. So, yeah, not the best one, unfortunately, but you can't win them all with these requirements. And then the final one, Mace Windu. Now, there's definitely not a lot nice to say about this version of Mace Windu. Hopefully by the time the Jedi Master Kenobi requirements are easier to farm, I'm thinking around June, July next year, 2022. Hopefully Mace has had a rework by then, because by God he deserves a rework. But right now, the best thing I can say is that in territory battles, if you want to use General Kenobi somewhere else, Mace Windu can pre-taunt under Jedi Master Kenobi. You can also do it with Bastila Shan if you're just farming something up and you think, alright, I'll put Mace in there just to be a pre-taunt, but that's about it. There's not a lot you can do with Mace, unfortunately, unless you really, really want an endurance team. Okay, so, can I just say, I didn't even move my head for Mace. That's how much I disrespect him. Okay, so let's have a look at JMK himself. At the time of recording, the meta is the following. Jedi Master Kenobi, General Skywalker, General Kenobi, Ahsoka Tano, and Ki-Adi-Mundi. Now, that is what I've seen in the squad meta at this time. Now, last night, Commander Ahsoka Tano came into the game at 7 stars. From what I've seen, the people who've got Ki-Adi are taking out... I think it might be General Skywalker, but I have not actually checked. It could actually be Ki-Adi. The actual meta has not been formed yet, so I'm recording this at the worst possible time. It would have been much better if I recorded it last week before Commander Ahsoka came to the game. Unfortunately, that's the draw I've been given. So what I will say, this meta is quite flexible right now. I've put down at the bottom that if you don't have Ki-Adi, people have been using C-3PO and Grandmaster Yoda, or Grandmaster Yoda. But yeah, add Commander Ahsoka Tano into that mix, because it does seem that if you haven't got Ki-Adi, Commander Ahsoka is the way to go. So, let's just assume that all of those characters have been used, right? What we're going to do, we're going to build up some teams. So, we've got Padme. We're going to do a Padme team first. We're going to assume you've got your Padme, you've done it for General Skywalker, or you're thinking of doing it for General Skywalker. You got Jedi Knight Anakin. You're going to need Jedi Knight Anakin for the ship anyway. You got to do phase 1 of the gas event, so yeah, Jedi Knight Anakin. Shakti from the event, Commander Cody from the event, from the requirements, sorry, and from Clone Sergeant from the requirements. Okay. The way I look at this is a very offense-heavy glass cannon type of team. I would not advise putting this on defense, but if there's something that's really mishmash on GA defense, like say a Phasma lead team, this could blow through it no problem. There's a lot of offense in that team as well, so you never know, it could punch up a little bit, but I would not like to speculate what teams it could beat without trying it. So this is just something I've cobbled together. You could easily take out Shakti, Commander Cody and Clone Sergeant, let them have a little clone team of their own, and you could use Mace, Qui-Gon and Ayla, and they would be slightly more defensive, but still not a bad Padme team. Not a great one, but not a bad one. Anyway, I'm focusing on requirements, that's why we're doing it this way, okay? Honestly, if you can spare some of the JMK team to a Padme team, you're probably going to make a better Padme team. Okay, next up, we're going to try and build a Jedi Knight Revan team without using any of the requirements we've used so far. So, we're assuming that by getting JKR, you've got Bastila and Jolie. And I've put in Ayla and Grandmaster Yoda here. We're assuming that someone had Kiadi when we got Grandmaster Yoda here. If they hadn't got Kiadi, you could say Qui-Gon instead of Yoda, just for the fact that Qui-Gon's got a call to assist on his first special. So that's the general gist of that. But yeah, we basically wanted Jedi that would work well with JKR's lead. Okay, moving on. We're looking at Separatists. Now, I said finally, it isn't the final slide here, but yeah, pretty simple this. I did 4 Separatist droids plus Wat Tambor. Honestly, Droideka would go under this instead of Wat. Wat goes in better places than that. So, yeah, it's the way I see it, it's one version of a team. If you wanted to throw Wat in to make sure the requirement's in there, but honestly, Droideka goes in there normally. Well, if you don't put Droideka in, it's Nute Gunray or something like that. So, Separatist droid team, it's quite flexible. You do get variations on it, but the standard droid team, Droideka instead of Wat. I've just thrown Wat in there. Anyway, last one I'm going to show you is a Scoundrel team, and I wanted to just try and use the requirements again. So I've used Kira as a lead just for the fact that, you know, Kira's a Cantina farm, not that hard. Plus she's on Galactic Bounties too, so like me, people might just be getting 10-20 shards a pop at that. I put Bo, Django and Cad in the group, and just because people farm Bosk for Houndstooth, I've thrown in Bosk as a taunting tank. No other reason. I would not advise using this team because you're taking away bounty hunters, you're taking... well, putting Cad in under Kira really isn't great anyway, but I wanted to just form a team from the requirements. So honestly, you could do 2, maybe 3 teams out of this lot, so just leave it at that, eh? Okay, so... what order are we going to farm them in? Because this is the key question, I feel. This is the one that I was asking myself. Okay, what am I doing first? So, first thing you need to ask yourself, are you able to get Wat Tambor shards? If you aren't able to get Wat Tambor shards, you're not getting Jedi Master Kenobi. So, you might as well just sit down, wait until you've got a GP that will let you get into a guild doing Geonosis territory battles, then you can earn your Wat shards. What I will say, you really should be aiming for that anyway. Build your Geonosians up. You only need to take them to Gear 12, honestly. Sometimes Gear 12 and a bit of Gear 11. Not the hardest team in the world to build. Says me who hasn't got them on one of my accounts. Okay, let's move on. Okay, so, what order should I farm them in? We're going to carry on with the General Skywalker theme that I've been sort of dotting around throughout this so far. Now, one thing I didn't talk about in this, which I did overlook, Ewoks. To get General Skywalker, you would need C-3PO. So you need 5 7-star Ewoks. That is the first step. I did not include it on these slides, but it is the first step. So, like me, I have not built my Ewoks up. I need to farm them. So that is going to be the first thing I do once I finish my little Imperial Trooper farm I'm doing right now. But yeah, I'm going to get Chief Chirper built up. I'm going to make sure I put gear on all the other 4 I've got to 7-star already. And we're just going to unlock that Golden God. We're going to make sure he's up to a decent gear level, probably gear 12, maybe Relic just to leave him in a safe spot if I want to do something else. But gear 12 is probably the best place for 3PO for the rest of the game. So, besides that, what we're going to need is we're going to need Padme Amidala, we're going to need Shakti, we're going to need C-3PO, Ahsoka Tano, and General Kenobi. That is for Phase 2. You're going to need Anakin's ETA Starfighter, plus 3, 4, 5, I can't remember exactly, Galactic Republic ships for Phase 1. For Phase 3, you don't need anything, just General Skywalker's gifted to you. And for Phase 4, you're going to need Sarge Ventress, B1, B2, Magna, and Droideka. Preferably at relic levels or thereabout. So yeah, that's the general gist of it. I do list the stuff on screen to make it easy for you. I think the key thing to say is if you're not able to get to Fleet Hard Node 5, you're going to struggle because that's where Shakti begins and the next one is B1. If you can't farm them 2 nodes, you might be in a little bit of trouble. But this is where getting the Negotiator isn't a bad shout. Negotiator will help you blow through that. Okay, but other than that, I think the rest of this is listed here. The one thing I will add as well, General Grievous. At this point, if you haven't actually got any shards for him whatsoever, which would be a surprise, just start farming the shards. Just make sure you're getting him ready. Okay, moving on. So, once General Skywalker's unlocked, we're going to assume that you've got all the requirements by this point, you've farmed him up, you've done the event. You've got two choices. Is he going in a 5 first team, or is he going in a Jedi team? Now, if you have got 5 first clones built up, great. You know, you can just throw General Skywalker in there, he's got a home. If you've got Jedi built up, you can throw him in there, he's got a home. If you've got neither faction built up, take this time to build one of them up. So, I'm in a bit of a weird spot myself. I could put him with my Jedi, he'd be fine. But I kind of think he works best with the 5 first, so I'm thinking this might be the point where I stop, build my 5 first up. So, what I will say here is, this is the time where you make that call as well. You basically see how far away you are from JMK, and can you afford to just pause and build some clones up. Or some Jedi. Okay, so, moving on. Once you've made that call, this is what you should have at this point. You should have General Kenobi at Relic level. Really, that's just because it makes Phase 2 easier. With Shakti, she should be 7-star for the event obviously, but also, ideally, you should have taken her to Relic level, just to make the event easier, and because you're going to be doing it anyway. Similarly, Magna Guard. You can do Phase 4 with a gear at 12 Magna Guard. I've not heard stories of less, but I'm guessing it's possible. But considering you need to take Magna to Relics, you may as well take him to Relics now. Then, we're going to look at General Grievous briefly. Keep working on the shards if you haven't gone to 7-star already. If you can afford to, give him a little bit of gear now. You don't need to take him all the way, but just give him a little bit of gear. Also, what Tambor shards? Hopefully you're earning them by now. So, we'll start on the Scoundrels at this point. So, we're going to work on getting Bo-Katan to Relic 5. We're going to work on getting Jango to Relic 7. And once those two are done, or at least once Bo's on the way, we're going to be working on Cad to Relic 5. The reason I have to say that about Bo, she's not due to be accelerated until May 2022, so in May 2022 you should be able to get 2 shards a day instead of 1 on average. But yeah, whether it is May 2022 or not, we don't know. But yeah, if you're getting slow drops on Bo, you can always go for build a Bounty Hunter team up, or a Scoundrel team, or even a Mandalorian team, just while you're waiting. That way, like I say, you're rounding out your GA factions, you're not ending up with that cobbled up Scoundrel team I came up with. You've actually got maybe 1 or 2 teams. So, if I'm struggling with Bo at this point, I might build up my Bossk a little bit more, just give him a little extra gear, get him to Relics. I might work on my Boba or my Dengar, my Mando, my Grief. It all depends how I'm feeling at the time. So, like me, just take this time to think, right, can I afford to just go and give some extra gear to someone? Okay. So at this point, again, we're doing another little stop point and check. General Kenobi at Relic level. General Grievous should be at 7-star. Could possibly be at Relic level if you've been able to give him some attention in the previous step. Maybe now's the time you can get him to Relic level. Jango Fett, we've talked about it in the previous one. He should be Relic 7 now. I put a Relic level, I was being generous there. He should be Relic 7. Shakti should be at Relic level. Bo-Katan should be Relic 5. Cad Bane should be Relic 5. Magna Guard, ideally at Relic level. And then, like I say, if he isn't already, get Grievous to Relic level at this point. I'm not even going to say Relic 7, just get him to Relic level. We're also going to make sure that Wat at this point is getting gear, because by now you should have unlocked him. So if you haven't unlocked Wat by this point, you're going a bit slow, but fair enough. Try and give some gear to him. Try and get him to gear 11, even if you're not at 7 stars. If you got him at 7 stars, great. Relic him now. Just get Wat out the way. Okay. Next step, we're going to talk about the clones. We've got Sergeant and we've got Cody. Give them the relics now. So we're talking Relic 5 for Sergeant, Relic 3 for Cody. Now, at this point, if you want to, build up some other clones. So if in that previous step when we were talking about clones, you decided, you know what, I've got Jedi. I'm going to just build my put him in my Jedi team, General Skywalker. This is the time when you can say, right, once again, should I build up my 5 first? But if you did that, do you want to build up Bad Batch? The reason being, Cody does work well with Bad Batch, so there is a bit of synergy there. But besides that, it's the idea that Bad Batch does work well with Jedi Master Kenobi. It's not maybe the first choice team, but it can do something for Grand Arena. So now is your chance to say, you know what, I might build this up. Again, it's entirely your call that. I am not telling you to farm Bad Batch. You may just want to skip this step. But how I'm viewing it, Bad Batch are another Grand Arena team. They're good in Territory Wars. Plus, they'll help you get Kiadi Mundi, in theory. So, I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, you know what? Maybe it's worth going for it. But I'll leave you guys to decide. Once again, let me know in the comments if you think it's worth going for Bad Batch at this point. Okay, moving on. Another little point stop. General Kenobi should be at Relics. Grievous should be at Relics. Django should be Relic 7. Shaq should be at Relics. Clone Sergeant should be Relic 5. Bo-Katan should be Relic 5. Cad Bane should be Relic 5. Magna Guard should be Relic 5. Watt should be Gear 11 minimum, working towards 7 star. And if he's already 7 star, he should be at least getting into Relics. Okay, final round. At this point, farm will be Galactic Republic Jedi. So, if you're like me, you might already have a Relic GMY, Grandmaster Yoda. If that's the case, just build these Relics up. If you're not, get him to Relic. Ayla and Qui-Gon and Mace. Unless you've got a bit of a Galactic Republic fetish, I very much doubt that you've gone for Relicing them. If that's the case, Relic them now. Leave Mace till last. You don't want to have a Mace Windu who's Relic unless he's had a rework, or unless you just really want to Relic Mace Windu. Okay, so at this point, we've got to talk about Relicates, unfortunately. Now, I did skirt over them a little bit when we were talking about General Kenobi and Grandmaster Yoda, but unfortunately Relicates are a reality of the game. There are 2 ways to earn them: the Pit Challenge Tier Raid and Conquest Hard Mode. Now, my Crimson account, which will be going for Jedi Master Kenobi, it's 3.9 million GP at the time of recording. I would estimate by the time that I've done all of what I've said, I will be quite comfortably over 4 million, meaning I can take part in hard mode conquest. And I should be earning, or I should have the capability of earning error magnifiers. That doesn't make it easier though, because you've got to get box 7, and box 7 is a pain to get. My Temin account, which is the bigger account of the 2, is about 4.6, 4.7 million GP, I think. And yeah, I haven't got anywhere near box 7 yet. So do not bank on it. That is my message here. The easiest way, and I say easiest with inverted commas, is the pit raid. Unfortunately, you need a guild that can do the pit raid. So this is where you have to decide. Do you want to keep persisting with conquest, or do you leave your current guild, if they are not currently earning error magnifiers from the pit raid, to find a guild that can earn them for you? The third option, which I don't want to dwell on too much, is that there are packs that come out every now and again. In the UK, they're about £48.99. I would not personally go for them, even if my Crimson account wasn't free to play. But I do not judge anyone who does, because honestly, it's much easier and quicker, and it means you don't need to move guilds if you don't want to. So I'm going to leave that there, but I think it is worth bringing it up just for anyone who isn't averse to spending. Okay. The last step. I did say in a few of them occasions, just Relic. I just said Relic. I didn't say go take to Relic 7 or to Relic 5. I just said Relic. At this point, make sure you get all of your characters that need to go to a certain Relic level to that Relic level. So, for instance, I said Shaq, just take it to Relics. This is the time when I say go to Relic 7. Grievous to Relic 7. Basically, it's just the finishing touches. When the event's able to play, start farming the gear for Jedi Master Kenobi so you're getting your tickets, and you're well on your way. There's not much else I need to say at that point. So, I've been talking a lot for the past 30 minutes, although I don't know how much of that will end up in the video. But yeah, let me know what you think in the comments, because how I view it, I think we've spoke about a fair few things here. I am curious how much you think is worthwhile. I mean, would you basically cut out a few of them middle steps where I farm, say, Bad Batch in General Skywalker and go straight for Kenobi? Or do you think there's merit in actually building out these factions? Let me know. Other than that, thank you very much for watching, folks. I hope you have a pleasant day, and I will be back with another video very shortly, and it'll be more aimed towards the start of the game, so I hope to see you around for that, folks. Bye for now.